shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss, you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you and welcome to Motivation Time through Join Up Dots, where we bring you quotes and inspirational phrases from the movers and shakers around the world. Some that have been out there forever and a day, and some that have just come to the fore in the last few years. And today's one is from a man who we all know. Most of us use his products. Most of us get annoyed by his products, but he's still doing extremely well. Mark Zuckerberg, yes, the Facebook guy, Instagram and all that other stuff as well. Now, Mark says the biggest risk is not taking any risk. Just that bit is enough to actually build a whole podcast episode to drive you forward, but let's go through it fully. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Now, this is a really powerful reminder of the role that calculated risks. It's not just being foolhardy and diving into stuff, but actually looking at the fors and against, the pros and cons, and working out that in personal and professional growth, especially in a sort of rapidly evolving world, we've got to take risks. We've got to take financial risks. We've got to take risks with our time. We've got to take risks with our personal belief. It underscores the idea that avoiding risks altogether can actually be more detrimental than taking risks, even if they don't always lead to immediate success. And this is key. So what we're going to do, we're going to explore the quote and give you some practical examples. And it's one of these frightening quotes that seems so easy, but I could just go on and on and on. So I've broken it down into 7. And these are where I think that for any entrepreneur or for any dream maker out there that really wants to do their own thing in life, we've really got to accept, and we've got to buy into the fact that, yeah, risks may not go our way, but if you don't do anything, nothing's going to go your way. So what is risk taking? Well, at its heart, risk-taking is growth. It's progress. And whether it's pursuing a new career path or starting a business or just exploring uncharted territories, risks challenge us to step out of our comfort zones and develop new skills. And that's a key thing, stepping out of our comfort zones and moving into scary areas is where our opportunities increase, our potential of earning more increase, our network increase. Staying where we are and just being safe won't help us move to the next level. So imagine someone who sort of stays in a secure but unfulfilling job. We've all done that in the past because they fear failure in a new venture. By avoiding the risk of changing their career, they miss out on that potential growth, the learning experiences and satisfaction that a new path might bring. I remember starting a new job. I didn't really want it, but I thought, oh, let's just go for it. And I've ended up with 5 grandchildren and a wife and all that. Yeah, I would never have had what I've got, or certainly not in the form that I've got at the moment, if I didn't just go, oh, sod it, what's the worst going to happen? I'll go for it, and if I don't like it, I'll look for another job. And that's how risks can be. If you make a financial risk, and I've done that so many times, all my risk is how do I get back the money that I put back in and bring me back to square one? But I've learned from that process. I've learned from that experience, and it gives me the ability to find the ability to change, because the world is constantly changing. It's getting faster and faster and faster, or maybe that's just because I'm becoming an old bloke. It seems that is getting faster, and it's driven by technological advancements, shifting market trends, and those who resist change and avoid risks I'm not even going to say will find themselves left behind. They will be operating in a world that has just moved on. And I'm not saying that it's not a good place to be. There's many times that actually, let things go. It's too fast, I don't really need it. But we've got to keep that ability to keep our minds agile at the forefront of our mind. And certainly if you're running a company that refuses to sort of adopt new technologies and modern business practices due to that fear of uncertainty, could well lose its competitive edge and relevance over time. And this leads to a lack of innovation and creativity, because that means stepping into the unknown and experimenting with novel ideas. It might mean that it stops you building resilience, because overcoming challenges and risks build resilience. I think this is the biggest thing. It builds mental fortitude. And those who avoid risks may lack the ability to navigate adversity when it inevitably arises. And it's hard when you get a smack in the mouth and you put your effort into something and it's not going your way. It's difficult. But the first times are so much more difficult than as you move on. It's like a boxer that gets used to being punched in the face but getting up and taking more. That's what life is. It's about just learning from the failure. And if you launch a product or you don't launch a product due to the fear of failure, you could well miss out on the chance to learn from real world feedback. Even if the product doesn't really work, you learn from it and then you can tweak it and iterate towards a successful solution. But I think the biggest thing about the fear of taking risks is the regret and what ifs. Now, regret will always stem from not taking chances, I think. Oh, why didn't I do that? Oh, I should have spoken to that girl. I should have spoken to that boy. I could have. It's all that leaves ourselves haunted by the thoughts of missed opportunities. And I don't want to be laying on my deathbed having too many of those. Of course I will have them, because there's so many opportunities out there. There's so many times when a conversation could take us in a different way and somebody says, do you fancy doing that? And it's a yes and no situation and you say no, and a yes would have shot you forward. We're all going to be ending up with risks. But in essence, Mark Zuckerberg's quote really encapsulates the idea that not taking risks can lead to stagnation, missed opportunities, and a failure to adapt to a changing world. And while risks come with uncertainties, of course they do, they also hold the potential for growth, innovation, and the realization of one's full potential. And that's what we're in Join Up Dots for, to drive you onto your full potential and really become the biggest, best version of yourself, personally, financially, business-wise. So whether in business or personal life, embracing calculated risks can be a catalyst for remarkable achievements. So let's just hear that quote again. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. So when the next thing comes in front of you and you think, I don't know if it's going to work out, just plan it. Think about the pros and cons, the for and against. And if you think that you can take the risk and even if it fails, you can resolve it somehow, like a financial risk, then really think about it. Give it a go, because I guarantee you'll learn more from it than anything you will do from just saying no and staying where you are. Until next time, I'll see you again. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots. Join Up Dots.